Welcome to World News. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. First, the headlines. Federal government sets committee to resolve issue raised by ASU. DSS arrests NLC President Joe Ajaero. Ukraine says it downed 6 drones and 2 missiles during Russia's attack. And on sport, Coleman out of Republic of Ireland's Greece scheme. Now the news in detail. The federal government has set up committees to resolve certain grey areas raised by the Academic Staff Union of Universities in the ultimatum issued close to 3 weeks ago. The Vice President, ASU, Chris Piwuna, made this known to newsmen in Abuja. The committee will meet on September 11, 2024. These were the resolutions made at the end of a closed-door meeting held between ASU's leadership and the representatives of the Federal Ministry of Education, headed by Tahir Mamman. Following resolutions reached at the union's National Executive Council meeting held at the University of Ibadan on August 19, 2024, public university lecturers threatened to go on a nationwide strike over the federal government's failure to honor the 2009 renegotiated agreement. The federal government has directed the exclusion of third-party research grant funds of federal universities and research institutions from the Treasury's single accounts. The directive is contained in a letter signed by the Acting Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Chris Miyaki, to Vice Chancellors dated September 6, 2024, and made available to newsmen in Abuja on Monday. According to him, the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, has conveyed the President's directive to the Coordinating Minister of Finance and National Economy, Wale Edun, mandating the exemption. Departments of the State Service have arrested the President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero. Reports stated he was arrested this morning at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Ajaero was about to board a flight to the United Kingdom for an official assignment when DSS picked him up. Although details of the arrest and the reasons are still sketchy, sources said he has been handed over to the National Intelligence Agency. According to the sources, Ajaero was billed to attend Congress in the UK holding today. Recall that Ajaero has been on the radar of the security agents recently. The NLC president had on Thursday, August 20th, honored an invitation by the Intelligence Response Team, arm of the police summons on August 19, asking him to appear the next day and threatening him with arrest should he fail to comply. But Ajaero, through human rights activist Femi Falana, wrote to the Inspector General of Police explaining why he could not honor the summons. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Vice President and 2024 flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Mahamuda Bawumia, has filed his nomination for the presidential election. On Monday, September 9th, Bawumia, accompanied by his wife, his running mate, the Chief of Staff and others, submitted his nomination at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. Receiving the nomination, EC Chairperson Jean Mensah noted that this was the first time a sitting vice president had personally submitted the nomination form to contest in the national election. At least 6 people died after a boat capsized off Senegal over the weekend, a spokesperson for the West African country's armed force said. The boat, a narrow wooden fishing vessel known as pirogue, was carrying around 100 migrants from the town of Bo and it overturned after only 4 kilometers off navigation, reports stated late on Sunday. 4 people were rescued, but many are still missing. The Armed Forces spokesperson told newsmen that the Navy had sent a plane and 2 boats to search for the dead and survivors, and that the searches were continuing today. The journey by boat from the coast of West Africa towards Spain's Canary Island is a popular migration route. The route has seen a 154% surge this year, with 21,620 people arriving in the Canary Island in the first 7 months, according to data from the European Union border agency Frontex. France Navy, which also has operations in Senegal, intercepted 2 pirogues open New Tab carrying a total of 276 migrants off Senegal's coast on Friday, the Senegalese Navy announced in a post on X. We move to other parts of the world after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Poland neutralizes sabotage group linked to a Belarus and Russia Polish security services have neutralized a sabotage operation orchestrated by Russia and Belarus that aimed to destabilize Poland, Deputy Prime Minister Gwarkowski said on Monday. Warsaw has repeatedly accused Moscow of attempting to destabilize Poland because of its role in supplying military aid to its neighbor Ukraine, allegations Russia has dismissed. Saboteurs operating from Belarus in cooperation with Russia penetrated local and central government institutions, including state-owned companies implementing military contracts, he said. Gwarkowski says cyber attacks have doubled since last year, targeting Polish organizations and institutions, including logistic companies that run military deliveries to Ukraine. A senior Iranian Revolutionary Guards commander denied reports that Iran was transferring missiles to Russia, Iranian media said on Monday, amid concerns in the West that they could be deployed in the war in Ukraine. Fazlullah Nuzari, deputy commander of the Khatam al-Anbi Central Headquarters, was quoted saying no missile was sent to Russia, and this claim is a kind of psychological warfare. Asked about the report on Monday, the Kremlin said that Iran is Russia's partner and that the two countries were developing dialogue in all areas. The UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk said on Monday that ending the nearly year-long war in Gaza is a priority, and he asked countries to act on what he called Israel's blatant disregard for international law in the occupied Palestinian territories. Nearly 41,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza, according to Gaza health officials, since Israel unleashed a military campaign in response to cross-border attacks by Hamas militants on October 7, 2023, in which 1,200 people were killed and a further 250 taken hostage. The conflict has also fueled a surge in violence in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. He cited opinion released by the UN top court in July that called Israel's occupation illegal, and Turk said the situation must be comprehensively addressed. Israel has rejected the opinion and called it one-sided. Turk's comments were given in a broad speech marking the midway point of his 4-year term as UN Rights Chief, where he described massive challenges around the world and the crisis of political leadership. Up next is business. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv.
Welcome back. And on business news, Nigeria-China sealed $3.3 billion brass industrial park deal. Nigeria and China have signed a $3.3 billion deal to develop the brass industrial park and methanol complex in Bayelsa State. The Director of Information and Public Relations of the Federal Ministry of Finance, Mohammed Manga, in a statement last night, disclosed that the deal was signed on the sidelines of Africa-China Conference in Beijing. He said the transformative project was expected to significantly boost Nigeria's industrial output and generate vital employment opportunities. The director described the deal as a reaffirmation of the two nations' commitment to deepening economic cooperation, strengthening bilateral ties, and fostering sustainable development. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, was said to have underscored the significance of South-South cooperation, highlighting its pivotal role in Nigeria's sustainable development goals. Edun emphasized President Bola Tinubu's dedication to fostering a business-friendly environment to attract increased investment, particularly in key sectors such as infrastructure, energy, and industry. Kenya's Finance Ministry will seek suggestions from the public on new legislation to boost revenue and tackle other challenges, Finance Minister John Mbadi said on Monday after the government was forced by deadly protests to withdraw its financing bill. The East African country, the region's largest economy, faces heavy debt repayment that have put it in an awkward position in the face of resistance by the public to new tax hikes. Mbadi, who initially said he would revive some tax hikes in the abandoned finance bill before rolling back after a public outcry, ruled out the restructuring of the country's debt, which stand at above the optimum level recommended by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. He also promised to consider cutting taxes in the medium term, including value-added tax on goods and services, as well as the corporate income taxes. Boeing shares rise after tentative labor deal that could avert a major strike. Boeing shares rose 5% before the bell on Monday after the plane maker and its biggest union reached a tentative deal covering more than 32,000 workers, averting a possible strike. The proposed 4-year contract was hailed by the union as the best it had ever negotiated. This is also an early win for the new Boeing CEO, who is tasked with turning around the struggling plane maker. As part of the agreement, Boeing has committed to building a replacement for its workhorse 737 at its U.S. Pacific Northwest facilities if the project is started during the 4-year period of the labor contract, though the plane maker has not yet announced the new jet. Boeing and rival Airbus are in the early stages of drawing up strategies for replacement of their best-selling single-aisle models that are expected to enter services in the late 2030s. The contract terms include a general wage increase of 25% over 4 years, below the 40% wage hike demanded by the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Union, signaling its recognition of Boeing's difficult financial position. Still to come, sports. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. On sports news, the Paralympics closed on Sunday with a giant music field party as Chief Paris 2024 organizer Tony Estanguet said the Games and the Olympics had created a historic summer. The Paralympic flame and cauldron were extinguished before a concert featuring the best of French electronic music kicked off proceedings at the packed Stade de France. More than 4,400 athletes from 168 Paralympic delegations parted despite persistent rain. Estanguet said the closing ceremony marked the end of 6 weeks of Olympic and Paralympic fervor in the City of Light. The former Olympic gold medal winning Kenyaist said that period would remain etched in people's memories. In the official handover, Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo passed the Paralympic flag to International Paralympic Committee President Andrew Parsons, who gave it to Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Osimhen, despite agreement, former Super Eagles and Chelsea midfielder Michael Obi has dismissed reports that Victor Osimhen's wage demand was the reason the deal with the English side fell through. Chelsea made a last-minute effort to sign the Super Eagles forward during the final hours of the summer transfer window, but the Premier League side could not finalize the deal. According to reports, Napoli had accepted an €80 million euros offer from Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly on deadline day, but Osimhen expressed doubt about leaving European football. Michael, who was involved in the deal with Osimhen, has revealed that the transfer was just hours away from being finalized and noted that the forward was disappointed when the move fell through. Speaking further, Michael dismissed reports of issues between Osimhen and Chelsea over the failed transfer. Ronaldo strikes late to seal Portugal win over Scotland. Cristiano Ronaldo's late strike sealed Portugal's 2-1 win over Scotland as the 90th goal of the striker's extraordinary career completed a stirring fight back in Sunday's Nations League clash. Ronaldo had reached 900 career goals with his 131st international strike in Thursday's victory over Croatia. The 39-year-old showed no signs of being satisfied by that incredible milestone as he came off the bench to lift Portugal to the second successive win in the Nations League Group A1. The Estadio da Luz in Lisbon rose in unison to chant the relentless Al Nassr forward's name after he struck with 2 minutes to play. On his 30th birthday, Manchester United midfielder Bruno Fernandes fired Portugal's second-half equalizer after his former Old Trafford teammate Scott McTominay gave Scotland a surprise early lead. Republic of Ireland's captain Seamus Coleman has been ruled out of Tuesday's Nations League game against Greece by injury and replaced in the squad by Festy Ebozele. Coleman had to be substituted because of a knock in the second half of the Nations League home defeat by England on Saturday. The Football Association of Ireland said that Coleman's injury means he will return to his club, Everton. Coleman, who lined up on the right side of a 3-man Ireland defence, suffered his knock similarly to his left ankle when England's defender Harry Maguire landed on him after contesting an aerial ball. With Coleman ruled out, Matt Doherty could drop back from his wing-back role to the defence for Tuesday's game in Dublin. Hal Grimson's first game in charge saw the Irish were second best in Saturday's 2-0 home defeat, and they will look to bounce back against the Greece team who defeated them home and away in the Euro 2024 qualifying campaign. And that's the sport news on World Now. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
Welcome back. Now to the rest of the news. Ukraine says it downed 6 drones and 2 missiles during Russia's attack. Ukraine's Air Force said on Monday it shot down 6 out of 8 Russian-launched drones and 2 out of 3 missiles during an overnight attack over 4 Ukrainian regions. Kyiv authorities said an attack on the city, the 5th of September, had not done damage or caused injuries in the capital. Russia has launched hundreds of missiles and drones to attack Ukraine in the past weeks, prompting Kyiv to reiterate to its Western allies the urgent need for air defense and long-range strike capacity to repel the attacks. On Monday, the air defense shot down area targets in the Kyiv region, with debris causing 2 fires in open areas which have since been put out, the regional authorities said. C. Lesak, the governor of the central region of Dnipropetrovsk, said air defense shot down 2 missiles there, in addition to 1 reconnaissance drone. Russian shelling of the town of Nikopol in his region injured 3 people and killed a 16-year-old girl, Lesak said. And that's world news, but before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that federal government sets committee to resolve issues raised by ASU. The DSS arrests NLC President Joe Ajaero. Ukraine says it downed 6 drones and 2 missiles during Russia's attack. And on sport, Coleman out of Republic of Ireland's Greece game. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja, Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. Thanks for watching.